तालियां हो जाए।
दरिंदगी के तीर लिए अफवाहों के बान में, दरिंदगी के तीर लिए अफवाहों के बान में, नफरतों के कपास ठूसे कुछ ऐसे अपने कान में कि जिंदगी की भीख की आवाज अब इन्हें सुनाई नहीं देती है। ये भीड़ कभी भी भीड़ से भेड़िया बन जाती है, ये भीड़ कभी भी भीड़ से भेड़िया बन जाती है। पहले जनाजों में कतारें थी, अब कतारों में जनाजे हैं। पहले जनाजों में कतारें थी, अब कतारों में जनाजे हैं। वही इखलाक, वही पहलू, वही तबरेज, ये भी तो भारत माँ के पाले हैं। पता नहीं इस भीड़ के क्या ही इरादे हैं। खुद की खून की प्यास मिटाकर, खुद की खून की प्यास मिटाकर दूसरों के घर उजाड़ जाती है। ये भीड़ कभी भी भीड़ से भेड़िया बन जाती है। ये भीड़ कभी भी भीड़ से भेड़िया बन जाती है। Lynching is an act of unspeakable horror. It is a mob versus an individual, defenseless and begging for life. The killers go ahead, enjoy and lynch. The blood and bone fly about, landing on the killers, smirching their faces and staining their clothes. The cries and wails are heard by the killers, yet they go ahead, enjoy and lynch. We are lynched in the name of cows, caste, creed and profession every time. If we are living in Hindustan, that doesn't mean we are less Indian than the others. Hordes of examples stand before us to seek justice. I ask you, my people, what was the mistake of Tabriz Ansari, Pehlu Khan, Rakbar Khan and many more? Is being a minority a mistake in India? If it is, the Constitution wouldn't have granted us the right to freedom and religion, the right of life and above all equality. If a person gets lynched for the food he had, it is the Constitution that gets injured. India is a secular nation where we must follow one religion, the religion of humanity. We have hundreds of examples of the Hindu-Muslim unity. Where is the unity now? And where is the brotherhood? Unfortunately, in today's India, lynching is the new normal. Are the ears deaf and the eyes blind of our law? Our Constitution has granted us this right and we will fight for it until the last breath. It is our responsibility to speak up for Tabriz, to speak up for Pehlu. If this goes on, it should be called as a Lynchistan. Should Hindustan become Lynchistan? If no, it is our responsibility to speak up on such an important issue. In 2015, Rakbar Khan was beaten to death just on the suspicion of a cow slaughter. Gasoline bombs were thrown in Jammu Kashmir on an 18-year-old for being a Muslim. 4 Dalit men were beaten to death just for skinning a dead cow. And later on, Pehlu Khan was murdered by 200 cow vigilantes. I ask you, my people, is mobocracy going to take over democracy? Since 2014, many extremist Hindu groups have led attacks across India which have targeted the Muslims and the Dalits. The recent attack on Tabriz Ansari has shook the hearts and minds of every Indian. There were lapses on the political side, on the institutional side, as they were inclined to the political groups. If the institutional failure is proven, the role of communalism in this murder will also highlight the societal plague which has crept into the nooks and corners of what was once known as the most vibrant democracy in the world. My dear people, those involved in lynching cannot call themselves as nationalists. Unfortunately, the divide and rule policy of the Britishers is being used by these extremists who are trying to protect and dominate their religion in the name of lynching. Lynching deflects the attention of from the real core issues such as unemployment, the Kashmir conflict, terrorism and Naxalism, and the list goes on. The international media says that these deaths are not just religious tragic killings but political murders. 54% Muslims and 25% of Dalits are victims to mob lynching. A society with a lynch culture needs a zoo, not for the animals, but for the people themselves. This deplorable culture of lynching condemns the criminals. Congratulates them. It is the need of the hour that we get united against this politics of hate and appeal the courts to make stringent laws on mob lynching. I appeal the courts to speak up on such an important issue. It is only then we will get justice and Tabriz will get justice. It is the need of the hour to get united against hate, as Tabriz's wife questions, whose husband will be the next? Can it be called as a spontaneous mob violence? Those involved in lynching was controlled by the anti-social elements and the police disappeared from the scene. I ask you, my people, will it be your turn the next? If not, speak up against hate. Lastly, I would just say that speak up and become united against this politics of hate. Let's start the second freedom struggle against these enemies of hate and these enemies of India. Why doesn't the government of India apply UAPA and POTA Act against such religious fanatics? How long are we going to become the helpless spectators just watching the scenario? When the cops are complicit, the vigilantes encouraged, the murderers are celebrated, the minorities persecuted and justified by ministers, where the minorities are questioned for their patriotism, then, my friends, it is time to say, go back, Lynchistan. Thank you.